morning, everyone. This is Shadows Pub, and this is Pimp Your Post Thursday morning edition from The Ramble. There we go. Now Rhonda's up.
Okay, there's my post again. So anyway, what we've been doing is traveling part of the country. We were going to do all over the country, and there's just not enough time. Michelle's got to fly out in a couple weeks now and go, and he won't be able to come back to the U.S. this year probably. So we're trying to get as much done as we can, and we're just not going to get the West Coast done. But we have traveled a bit of the East Coast, and we're trying to do some video logs and video documentation of what we're doing, because there's a learning curve with this publishing thing, and we're learning some things that will really help other people. Not just people who intend to become a publisher, but anyone who wants to publish anything on Amazon or wants to get things in bookstores. We're learning some stuff. And so we're documenting it on video and having a pretty good time while we're doing it. And this video, we talk about some of the problems we ran into with Ingram Spark, with Amazon's extended distribution. Never, ever, 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 ever check that box if you want that book and that ISBN to go into a bookstore. And it explains why in the video. We've also talked about problems we've had with fiat banking systems and with MoneyGram. MoneyGram, there's something bad wrong with that company. And anyway, how it's just the world economy and things here in the U.S. are just they're not what they were. I mean, it's just there's so many huge changes. For example, and this is a petty thing, but some of the major banks like Wells Fargo, you have to show an ID if you deposit money. Deposit money into your account if it's cash over a certain amount, because apparently everybody is now a terrorist or, some sort of money launderer, and the world has just gone to hell, and we just can't spend our own money that's in a fiat bank anymore. We're told how we can spend it, what we can spend it on, how much we can spend. And I just don't know how, I don't know how, Amir just wrote that. Yeah, you're correct. But, I just don't know. I don't know what we're going to do. So anyway, we're actually looking at different places to incorporate the publishing house other than the U.S.
So what is the ceiling for the amount that you deposit that you have to prove yourself?
I'm not sure.
Okay.
I'm not sure because I haven't encountered that problem. I haven't had any cash deposit in a very long time. This is just what we're hearing from people who are responding to our complaints about some of the. What we had was a problem. We had money on the BitPay card. It was Steamhouse money, and it was a significant amount of money. And because because BitPay no longer works at ATMs or cash, advances, you have to use it at the point of sale. You cannot get cash off of BitPay anymore. And I don't know what's screwed up with that, but they sent emails to everybody, so it's something system wide. But anyway, we tried to figure out how to get several $1,000s off of my BitPay card so that we could use it. And MoneyGram seized it and held it for 30 days and wouldn't give it back. They said I'm fraudulent, never to try to do business with them again. And, and here I am with honest to goodness, really earned money, doing a very legitimate thing with very legitimate business. And yet suddenly I'm a terrorist. So anyway, MoneyGram screwed up, and they held it for 30 days. I reported them to the SEC. We finally got it back, but that's just criminal. And then, a local bank, here that's local to Virginia, took money. I had a personal savings account, and I had overdraft protection because I know how I am. So I paid for overdraft protection. And then I had the Steamhouse corporate account that was totally separate. Wasn't even opened with my social security number. It was opened with the company's EIN number. Well, when I tried to use the overdraft protection that I paid for, they took money out of the corporate account, which was investor money, and paid my personal account. Hello? I think that's called embezzlement. So anyway, these companies are doing these banks and the banking system, they really are thugs, and they do whatever they want with your money anytime they want. And yeah, Bluefin, $15,000. I think it's $10,000.
No, it's 15 is the actual law, but anything over 1,000 can be reported based on the
Yeah,
bank.
yeah. And I'm quite sure that they report just I don't know. But anyway, I'm so bitter and so sour and salty over it right now that I think all banks are the devil, and I'd just like to nuke them. So if anybody has a suggestion for a good bank, please let me know.
So up here they'll report anything over 10, and anything over 5, you could be subject to a 10-day hold on your account. If you've got an already functioning business with them where the money's going in and out in those amounts, that's not an issue. But if I suddenly receive $6,000 and put it in the bank, then my account would be subject to hold for 10 days while they verified that it was indeed my money.
Yeah, and I mean, this is ridiculous because this is our money. We've worked for it. We've earned it. Who gives any institution the right to hold it, put it in their account, draw interest on it, however they do, or make whatever money? I don't know why they would do that. But what gives any institution the right to seize our money and hold it and not let us spend it? I mean, I'm just I'm completely fluster-cuddled over here. I mean, this just really blows my mind.
They pretty much do what they want.
So anyway, if you want to hear me fussing more about that, you can watch this video that I dropped. But also in the video, we talk about Michelle getting into the bourbon and how all the fun we had over in Eastern Virginia. So yeah, it's there's information in the post, but we've been having a really good time at it too.
Well, that's an interesting statement, Bluefin. We actually gave the institutions the right based on our voting.
Yeah, we did. And if we don't like that law, then we need to vote the people in who voted those laws in. Vote them out.
That's actually an underlying theme of Haiku, of my novel that we're out promoting, is that, you get, we're the ones who voted these people into office.
Yes, this is very true.
But then again, what are the options? I mean, are we being presented with any options to vote instead? Not in the U.S., not really.
Well, we've got a national election coming up in October, and the options are pretty thin up here too.
Scary.
Unfortunately, the choices lately are to vote for a bad candidate or a worse candidate. We never have any really good candidates anymore.
Yeah,
isn't that the same everywhere?
I'm somewhat unhappy with what our prime minister, not his party, what our prime minister did with a couple of members of his party. But when I take a look at the other options, there's not a whole lot of choice. So I will remind those who are, so my opinion is run for office. Yeah, no thanks, Bluefin, been down that road without getting into the politics of the country. So I just want to remind everybody that shade is being distributed during this show. I did drop a bit of information earlier on how to earn shade during the show. Don't forget to support posts. You'd like yours supported, you should support others, which is a good thing. And if you present somebody else's post and you pick up 2 shade, but you should go to their post and let them know that you did present it here on PYPT, as well as leaving comments that let people know that they were found on PYPT. Okay.
Will there be a giveaway this morning?
Yeah, it'd be a good idea if I started it, wouldn't it? You'd think I was a bit of a slacker, wouldn't you?
Well, you're only doing 20 things at once while hosting this show.
Is that all? Okay. There are 2 giveaways running. Click away, folks.
Yes, and I'm putting instructions in the chat as to how to do both.
Emir says that he hates it when shade is thrown at him. Well, I think you'd like this shade, Emir. Okay, Bluefin, you're up.
There's no giveaways running. Nobody go anywhere.
Nice try, Bluefin.
Why does that show sideways on the preview?
That's a good question because it didn't show that on the post.
Yeah, it's not on the post. That's odd. It's very odd. So some of you may know that I am in the event business, and I recently was in a large gymnasium, and we transferred it into a rather large party. Among the things that happened were some really cool foods that were out there. And I took some photos of some of the food. We took this raw space. No, I did use center. Interesting. So we took a raw space and we carpeted it and add really cool furniture and some lighting and sound and put on a little show and had the Boston Ballet come and perform, and it was quite the extravaganza for these people. You can see pictures of some of my favorite ever food.
Yes. I think the way it's presented, it's actually porn.
Yeah, food porn. So HDN vegan is no seafood either, right?
Frackish, you can load shade into Banjo for tips. You can also load it into Sweetbot, which is in here.
Can we talk on the mic too, or we should just post?
You can do both. We try not to get too many on the mic at the same time when we're presenting, so that we're not talking on top of each other.
Okay. So I'm not going to talk about the vegan or veganism. I'm not going to ruin this friendly chat, so just skip it.
Actually, I think Bluefin just asked you a question about.
So vegan is, which you can answer. It's not going to upset people, or it shouldn't. People are allowed to have different opinions. Vegan is where it's no. What did you say? No face, no feeling.
I believe it's no animal products at all, no milk or cheese or anything like that.
And no seafood as well, correct?
I think vegan is like if any animal suffers, you can't eat it. That's kind of the idea.
Okay. Go ahead, HG.
Okay, so there is some type of vegans. Okay, they are all not eating any animal product, but when you become vegan, you can be vegan for environment, for animal, for your own health. For me, it began with my own health. I'm not going to talk a lot about it, but I'm feeling fine, and the veganism just helped me to do better. And I'm a veterinarian. So how am I supposed to cure animals when I'm eating them?
I think that's probably a good personal choice, that you realize that it is a personal choice.
Of course it is. You can't force anyone to do something they don't want, or if they do, they don't feel happy about it. So what's the point? I just talk about veganism with people they like to hear about it. I'm not going to talk about it anywhere, anytime. Like I said, I just said it as a joke. I don't want it to be a topic for this chat. Anyway, I'm happy with that, and I wish happiness for everyone. A vegan, a meat eater, anyone else.
I think that's a good attitude. Thank you. And thank you, Bluefin. Solo, you're up. And you're muted. Do you know you're muted? That's unusual for you.
There we go. I
There
had
you go.
push to talk turned off when I was on the Meadows and Makers, so I had to change my settings back.
Hang on a sec. Blind Spot, I've already got you on the list. Did you want on for 2? Okay. Okay, go ahead, Solo.
Okay. So I got a few pictures of Walter here. He was taking a little break from his daily cat activities and was laying upside down grooming himself. And I was lucky to be in the right place at the right time with just amount of light coming through the window and snapped off a couple pictures of that priceless moment. He's a cute cat, but when he does things like that, he's extra cute. And just wanted to share some of the things I see on a daily basis with this kitty cat.
So he obviously trusts you and feels safe, or he would not expose his belly.
Very true, yeah. I try to never scare him or anything like that, so I can get such great photos, as cats are skittish creatures.
Well, I tend to think that they're a lot like us. If they feel safe and secure, they're a little bit calmer.
Do you have cats, Shadow Pup?
I have 2 of them.
Oh, right, that's right. One of them sits on your lap once in a while during the.
There's one of them curled up beside me at the moment. She showed up at my door here last October, which at that point gave me 3 cats. And then I lost one in March, and that took me back to 2 cats.
Oh, well, at least you still have quite the cat family.
Yeah, pretty much. But that is a cute one
And we
you've
used
got
to
there.
we
Thank
used to
you.
frequently hear one of them on Pimp Your Post Thursday. She would chime in occasionally. It was
Yes, Dawn
Oh,
did the.
yeah, I think I heard the.
Yeah, that was Dawn. That's the one I lost. The other 2 tend to be quieter. Yes, we also have one here, the kitty girl. Thank you, Solo Miner. And Frank, you're up.
Okay, great. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
So great. So last time, it's good to be back first. Last time I didn't show you any, so I figured I should this time. So this is a nice little thing you can do when you have poppy flowers growing anywhere. You can build yourself a little puppet. You don't need the googly eyes, though of course it's better with. Yeah, go check it out.
Poppy Puppet. So you run a Googly Eyes contest every week?
Yeah, the Googly Prize, that's basically organized by myself, but picking winners and everything, that's kind of like a little community thing, and it has a dedicated Discord for that.
It has a dedicated Discord.
Yeah, it does. It does.
So you obviously have people participating in it enough to create a Discord.
Yeah, it's on and off. I mean, sometimes we get like 10 entries a week. Sometimes it's only 5. We had up times during the bull market last year. That's of course. Oh, and actually, the contest has a 2-year anniversary coming up in 2 weeks. So stay.
Well, congratulations. Blind Spot, any poppies I've seen when they come out in flower come out in red, but they do, once the flower is gone, they have like a green bulb at the top, which is where all the seeds are. And I believe that's what the picture is showing there.
Yeah, exactly. That's the seed pod that grows inside of the bud.
Thank you, Frank. And Kitty Girl.
Pleasure.
Kitty Girl, you're up.
Okay, as a lot of you know, one of the projects that grew out of Pimp Your Post Thursday is the Hey Have You Met by Ren. We were talking one time in Pimp Your Post Thursday about how newbies on the blockchain weren't being properly welcomed, so Ren started welcoming people. In fact, come to think of it, she may have even been doing this before she came into Pimp Your Post. But
No.
anyway, it was after.
She started
Okay.
after.
And so she and Scott were doing some welcoming of people on their own, her and her husband. But then she started up this project, Hey Have You Met? And she's brought in a few other people to assist with the project and helping new members. And to celebrate the 6-month anniversary of this project being on the chain, she's having a contest. And this is week 3 of the contest. She wanted me to present this post today since she's going to be at work and can't do it. But the point of this contest is to try to get people to write a post of a tutorial nature about something that they have learned on the blockchain or on Discord, and write a post for the new people coming along that might benefit from it. And there will be prizes given out. So certainly urge everyone here, especially the newer folks, to write a post and put it in to the contest. It's pretty easy to do.
And everybody learns something on the platform.
Especially those of us in Pimp Your Post Thursday, this is one of the best places to learn.
Yes, we do get some conversations going at times. All right. I'm just catching up. I think I missed a couple of shade, or I missed a shade drop, so I was catching that up while you were talking. Thank you, kitty girl. Oh yes, we've got rain here as well, but it's been raining all morning.
So, just to HDN, I don't know if you do this, but a lot of us, what we tend to do is it gets hard to follow along the text and the conversation and the posts. A lot of us will just click the link and leave all the tabs open and then come back after and start commenting.
Yes, it's all open.
Yeah, it just gets hard to, it's hard to also follow the jokes and anything amazing that I write as well in the text when this is all happening.
Frank wants to know why you can't do 3 things at once.
This is my problem. I'm not really a good listener. I always drop some jokes, and I'm sorry. I tried to do my best. Okay.
HGN, it's good you're speaking because it's your turn.
Okay, so I'm gonna talk about my post. Before, I would like to give an introduction of myself. My real name is Hossein, and as it stands, the H for HGN66. I know some people here, Frank, the kitty girl. They really helped me through this journey. I'm really new Estimians, less than a month. So this post, I'm really a daydreamer, a 24 hours dreamer. I'm always thinking about new things while I'm eating, showering, anything. Sometimes thinking about how to go to the moon, sometimes about how to cure this disease, and. So I randomly ran to this post by TED community about their experiment, the gate experiment.
Okay.
Also, there was some other experiments going on, but this one catch my eyes. Is there something you want to say, Shadows?
Yeah, we need you to drop the link so people can look at it.
Okay, I'm sorry.
That's okay. There we go.
Okay. So here's the link to my post, but I know you can't read it right now. So I was just reading through it, and it was the same time I joined the Steemit platform. And there was something funny about this post. It really fits in everyday life. your blogging, your work, anything. So I just decided to somehow turn it to my personal experience on platform. And I don't know if how many of you have read this, but I just put the 6 top questions there and just try to turn them onto something happening on the Steemit platform right now. I don't know if I'm talking too much. For example, one of the questions that's really also about me is the last question. Where is the big idea born? In the shower, in the office? So for myself, is it the shower? And I just wanted to turn it into some experience from Steemit. So I just said, uh, sometimes we need to calm down for writing a post, a good post, and not just upvoting, commenting, posting something. And this is what happened for me. I was new to this platform, so I didn't know anything about resource queries, voting power, and I vested all in my day one. So this 5 day agony, this 5 day pain, it was really teaching for me. I learned a lot. I read lots of posts. And of course, I met some new friends, some really good friends like Frank, the Kitty Girl, Wes, and I think after this show, I will have lots of them. So I just learned and I saw some just copycatting some posts, some just post a picture without any definition. And for me as a starter, it was like, so, okay, I'm going to upload something or comment and then I get paid. We all know it's not working like this. So this 5 day painful waiting time just teach me how to be a good person on the platform. And after the first person, I would like to mention his name, Frank. He really delegated me SP, and it really give me vibes and good energy to keep on. After that, the Kitty, and after that, the Swedish, and of course, Wes and James. I think you know them on this. I don't know if they are on this channel or not. They were really helping, especially Wes. He really helped me after the post. So the only thing I learned about Estimate on my journey, on my short journey, it's all about giving. It's about being friendly and help others grow while you are trying to grow a profile for yourself. So this is it. I will appreciate it if you have some time to read my article about what is gate experiment and how we can use that experiment on our daily life on platform.
Well done. So you now have the role called PYPT attendee, which means that your text is now in that cool blue that you see the other people with. And there's also a channel called PYPT attendee, and you can put your posts in there when you put them up and check out some of the other people's posts that are in there as well. So one of the things that caught my attention with HGN on his post was, if the people that were here last week recall, I put a challenge out that you go to the TED Talks, choose a TED Talk, and talk about it. He did it without knowing about the challenge. So this post qualified, and he just got sent 10 shade in addition to the 2 for presenting. Fracas forgot. Blinds.
I hate to say it, but I forgot also. I was going to do one.
I wondered how many would remember.
I'd like to speak for just a moment about HGN and his post, though, if I may. I mentioned this at the beginning of the show, but I'll repeat it for a couple of folks that weren't here. HGN is fairly new to the Steam terminal. He's come in and is asking good questions. He's learning and growing very quickly. I'm very proud of him for doing that, and I love this post of his. For a Steemian who has not been on the blockchain for even a month yet, he did a great job in this post. He formatted it very nicely. He paraphrased the original article in his own words. He cited the sources of his images. I just had one criticism about the whole post, and I mentioned that to him in DM so he could take care of it in future posts. But I thought he did a splendid job, and I think he's on his way to being a good Steamian. He's got a great attitude, and we need more people like HGN here.
For
Definitely.
sure. All right.
Uh,
Well done.
okay, I just wanted to thank the kitty and everyone else. And I just forgot to mention something else. Posting my second post, which is I'm talking about that right now, was really painful. And the only painkiller I got was my friends, the Kitty, the Frank, Wes, James. Maybe I forgot some name, but they really helped me. And I was just asking questions, writing and asking. I really enjoyed posting this post. And I don't want to talk too much, but I think I should say this too. Uh, Publishing my second post with such formatting and too much words and so much work, I was just thinking about why should I do this? I can just post some photos of mine and get some upvotes and go on. But suddenly the moment of truth hit me. I'm writing about something I don't believe in. That can't work. So I just put myself in front of everything. I just respected myself and everyone else on the platform. And I tried to post a good quality one. I don't know if it's good or bad, but I tried to give it my best shot. Anyway, I'm really happy to be here.
So I think the lesson that you've learned here, HTN, is that you could put just some photos up and maybe get the odd upvote, but you're going to get very unhappy very quickly because a lot of people will just go right past a post that is just a photo. You put a photo up and put a little bit of a story with it of some sort, then you get some notice on it.
Of course, the first person who gets upset about the post, not about the upvotes, is myself. I'm unfortunately a perfectionist. I just want to do everything at its best point. So my first right. I'm sorry for Shadows for cutting you.
Sometimes good enough is good enough. Perfection can kill.
And I'm not satisfied with my second post, but I'll try to make a better one. And another point, the blind spot said something about Libra. I have a good news for you. My third post is about Libra, and I don't think you like it because Libra is not about changing from Steam to Facebook. Okay, I'm done. Sorry for talking too much.
All right. Thank you, HTN. Well done. Blind spot, you're up.
Hello, everybody. How is everybody doing? I hope everybody's doing well and very, very happy. Hossein, very nice to meet you and welcome to the club, buddy. Welcome. You're gonna have a bomb-ass time. Oops. Did I just say that? Hey, Solominer.
You did.
Good to talk to you. Anywho's, so to my pleasant surprise, turns out that there was something going on last week while I was absent in PYPT about TED Talks. So to give a short background, which is going to be really, really long about my post, Pursuit of Happiness, is that we were doing research on levels of depressions in university students. And while doing that research, I went through a lot of other statistics and so on. And turns out, although life standards in today's world and time, and although we have all the technology, more rights and more accessibility, more connection, it turns out that not only university students, but all over the world, the level of depression, anxiety, sadness, basically being unhappy, has increased. Now, you could argue that this is only because statistics have become better over time. We have much more accurate statistics. Well, that is a very good argument. I do not have a counter argument to that. But staying strict to the statistics, I tried to look into the reasons. Of course, I try to look into myself too and look into the people around me and not just online numbers and words. No, Sarge, you're right on time. I'm promoting my post. That's the best time to join. So yeah, that also led me to a TED talk. Give me my 10 shade, please. And well, this post is about the pursuit of happiness, or should I say the illusion of pursuit of happiness. Basically, the pursuit of happiness is not a pursuit that is gonna end well. There are a couple of reasons which are stated in my post. Very true, Hussein. Depression is a silent killer. Um, but yeah, there are a lot of reasons why people today are mentally or emotionally in a worse position than they were, let's say, in the past. So give the post a read. I would love some interaction. I would love some comments. I would love engagement and discussion on the post. Yeah, that's it.
I think engagement and discussion is a good idea.
So I'm sorry, I just cut in the line. Blind spot. I myself suffering from dysthymia. I don't know if you heard about this term, and fibromyalgia. Two diseases which work together perfectly. Dysthymia is term for chronic depression. So, what did you find in your journey for this post, and what can you tell to someone like me? Um, I, I don't want to talk about a lot about depression, but my question is, have you ever had this experience? How much time did you spend on it? Are you suffering from it right now? Something like this. I don't know if you got my point.
Yeah, first thing, Hussein, I would like to say that you are not alone. So make sure that you don't let it affect you too much. Thing is, every person on earth suffers mild depression for a specific amount of time. Some, gradually increase to moderate and then severe. Some stay in mild and get taken care of themselves. The thing about depression is that it is something that is very hard to recognize if you don't have people around you to recognize it. People have a very, very vague idea of depression. It's like, oh no, my shoelace isn't tied. Oh, I'm so depressed. Life is so bad. But depression is very different than that. Depression makes you a tree log, basically a tree log. You cannot move. You don't feel like eating. You don't feel like sleeping. You don't feel like waking up. It is a very terrible mental state. But the good thing is, dysthymia is a mild form of clinical depression. And the good thing is you'll make through it. And I'm sure you're strong enough. There are a lot of therapies. Medicine in today's day and age, especially in psychiatry, it has become so advanced that I think you should take it lightly. Yeah, it is not about being happy or sad, and that is the biggest misconception about depression. It is not about being happy or sad. You can have everything in the world. You can have all the loved ones around you and still be depressed. Depression is a clinical thing. It's not an emotional state of mind where you can just say that it's happy or sad.
Sorry, Shadow. So, and thank you. And you're right. It just feels so bad, but we all have our own problems, and we just have to fight it. Thank you for your time. Thanks.
All right. Thank you. And Rhonda, you're up.
This is just another one of our documentaries. This was in Cape May, New Jersey. And whereas Michelle was in, we talked about him in the bourbon, in the other post. He and I were both in it a little bit in this one, except it was beer. Cape May is a beautiful place. I had one major gripe about it, and you'll see in there. I went ahead and included it because it's funny. But the be aware. But one thing that's really cool about this video is that it did show how we're talking about the Steam blockchain with other people and trying to, when we're out and about, it's not just about the book or the publishing house. We're out trying to promote the community here and the blockchain and all that. And we got proof of it. And so anyway, you can watch us horsing around a little bit in that video. We always have some gag reel footage in there. And this one is it's pretty cool, but it's not as long as the other one. So it might be an interesting one for people to watch.
So did you take that backdrop on purpose?
No, that was absolutely organic. And I didn't even see the name of that boat until I was editing the video. And I said, that has to be the cover shot. That has to be. That. I mean, how perfect is that?
Whales and dolphins.
Yeah. I mean, I saw it, I was like, oh my God, look at that. So yeah, it's and you'll see the role that boat played, and it was it inserted itself into our video quite noisily.
Nothing like whales and dolphins.
One long and three shorts when it leaves the dock. I'm guessing that's what it was. Without even listening to the video, that's what it was.
It was coming back in, I think, but it wasn't just the horn. You gotta hear those people. That was a party boat, man. Those folks were having.
So, Blind Spot, you're back again. I think Blind Spot's loaded up today.
Totally not panicking. Hello, everybody, once again. I hope you're not bored of my voice, because you're going to hear some more of me. Again, this is a blog, a written article. I'm trying to get really serious with this. And my creative mind is probably dying because I'm running out of ideas. It's so weird that I've gotten so used to DTube that making a video is so much more easier to me than writing an article. Just planning to give Chernobyl a shot. You should, Hussein. Chernobyl is pretty cool. But yeah, you don't need a climbing rope if you don't plan on slipping. That's a pretty stupid statement, isn't it? But DTube works? Yep, for me it does. But this statement kind of reflects the mindset of the people in Ukraine. And it isn't a bad mindset. I've lived in Ukraine for the better half of a decade now, and I am loving this place. I love the country. I love the people. I love the mentality. I love it. I am absolutely addicted to this country. The reason I wrote this post is partly because of Chernobyl. In Chernobyl, we see, if you have watched the series, the mini-series, you might come across a few shots, a few scenes where they talk about accountability and responsibility and loyalty. And in Chernobyl, because it was such a bad disaster, you just see the dark parts of accountability and loyalty. But to be honest, Priyanark, oh my God, she's trolling me. Anyways, so, but to be honest, the people in Ukraine, for example, bless you, I've put an example in the article. It is the Gorky Park. It is one of the biggest parks in the entire country and the biggest park in Kharkov city where I live. And in this park, you have an outdoor play zone for children. Children, not teenagers, right under teenagers. So up to 12 children can play in that. And I forgot how are they called, but basically it's those zip lines. And these children, 5-year-old, 8-year-old, 9-year-olds, they climb those trees themselves, hook the zip line to themselves, all by themselves. There are no adults helping them out completely. And in a world where, even we have to put "don't try this at home" in the beginning of cartoons, in Ukraine it's completely different. It's like pretty much if you fall and bump your head, crack it open, you had it coming. Darwin's theory is working on you. But truly, if Ukraine, then I'm crying too. But truly, it is the mentality over here is very different from a lot of places, and that's because the children are brought up like that. The youth over here are so quote unquote woke. They understand life. They understand the struggles of life. They do not feel like, oh, the world owes me something. They will work for it, and they understand how to go around the different twists and what struggles they might and will face. And it's such a beautiful thing over here, and I highly recommend, if anybody wants to travel to a country and learn about people, learn about culture, Ukraine should be on your list.
I think most children worldwide will be little daredevils. The biggest problem is that some parents go overboard on protecting them from bumps and bruises.
And then I had another instance in my post, another example about another zip line. I'm not sure how is it called in English, but it is those carts that are moving on a zip line, and that also starts from Gorky Park and goes for around a kilometer or something to another part of the city, and these carts do not have locks on them. The doors, if you the wind can open these doors, but there hasn't been in history a single case of somebody falling out or anything. And it's Ukraine. People are super drunk over here at night, but still, there hasn't been like they know what is right and what is not. They know what is stupid and what is not stupid. Like it's really amazing that people are like so smart. I'm honestly very impressed.
So there's been no cases of them falling out, or there's been no cases of them falling out and remembering that they did it because they were too drunk.
No, no, no. There hasn't been a case, at least reportedly.
There we go.
Reportedly.
All right. Thank you, Bluefin. Or Blind Spot. Bluefin's next.
Wait, me or blind?
You. Blind just finished. You're next.
So it's a little post about the area where we took that space and made it into a performance area and party. It's a little better view of some of the fun that we had going on during this little dinner party that we threw together. It has nothing to do with a TED Talk, except that now I'm mad that I forgot. I'm so upset. I forgot about that TED Talk thing.
Well, there's still another show this evening.
Oh, right. Right.
So there is
now and then.
There is still time.
That is true.
If there's people interested and you're going to remember to do it, I will extend it a week. So this little dinner party that you threw together, how many people attended?
It was a party for about 250, 275 or so.
So just a small, intimate gathering?
Well, compared to some of the events, yes, definitely.
They certainly do look like they're having fun. And yep, buns and legs of steel by the looks of those dancers.
Yes, Miss Dreams Team, who is missing today, pointed that out. I didn't even notice. I don't notice those things. I don't.
Okay. Thank you, Bluefin. And Blind Spot, why do I have you on the list again? Were you really that excited about dropping icons this morning? Or do you have another post? Apparently he does.
I'm making up for the previous week, which I missed. Okay, this is a DTube post. Yeah, I love DTube. I create a lot of videos for DTube. Oh, well, for myself or for the consumers, whatever, you get the point. Tipping the balance, consumers and content creators. What was this video about? Oh, yes. So, uh, I'm not sure how many people over here are super involved with DTube. I know Rhonda is. I know are you a part of DTube? I don't watch her videos, so I don't know. But in the recent few months, I think 2 or 3 months, we DTube content creators have been discussing a lot about how can we improve the situation on DTube. Kitty Girl says DTube does not play for me. It happens. It happens. It's normal. But when I say how can we improve the situation on DTube, we're not talking about the technical stuff. We're not talking about the curation. Those are things that I really do not want to get into unless I have something very, very valuable to add. And that's the type of people I talk to who are strictly about content creation and putting out the best product possible. So during these 2-3 months, I've come across a few contests. I've organized a few contests with different communities, different content creators who have either put up a contest talking about this or put up videos talking about this. We have this chat on Twitter DMs. We have this on different communities across Discord. And we always focus, the issue that we focus is about getting more people getting involved with DTube, both as consumers and or content creators. And eventually what I came up with, and my theory is what I put in this video. It is basically, if we want more people to engage with DTube, keeping in mind that not a lot of people, yes, DTube is currently probably one of the biggest apps, the #1 trending tag on steemit.com, but still, there is a huge number of people that are not involved with DTube at all. They do not watch videos and they do not create videos. So how can we solve this? The solution is simple. It lies within content creators itself. The better content you put out, the higher quality, the more enjoyable the end product as good as it can be, the more appealing it is, the better it will be for the situation of DTube. If we can put out content that is going to impress people, that is going to relate, there is a factor of relatability. If the content has something of value, if the content is worthy of appreciation, then I do believe that people will come and at 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 least become a consumer of DTube content. And I think all of us DTube creators must focus on putting our best foot forward and creating the best content we can, because to be honest, we are the face of DTube at this moment.
So I see some comments in here. One of them is along the lines of when they're in the posts, they are not embedded into the posts like a YouTube one is. At one point, Steemit.com said that they had done it, but if they've done it, it stopped working. And the other part was Raven made the comment, maybe if it worked.
Very true. This was also one of our concerns. We put it up with him in danger, but we found a weird solution to it. A lot of content creators started embedding YouTube videos, like they uploaded their DTube videos to YouTube and then embedded it to the post. TipFox started, he programmed the primary version of embedding DTube videos to Steemit. But yes, those are the technical parts of the problems, and it is very tough as a person with no background in coding to go into this conversation and give something of value.
So my question is somebody who doesn't enjoy video, and most video I really don't enjoy. How long do you make your videos?
That is very subjective. At times it goes well over 15 minutes, at times it's a 3 minutes video. But you see, you are among the demographic that we are trying to bring to DTube, because there is the factor of clickbait, there is the factor about having the most relevant content. If we can start putting out posts that will look interesting to Bluefin, he's going to come and watch DTube. He doesn't like watching DTube, for example, but he's going to be like, okay, that is something I'm interested in, or that sort of thing.
As a professional video guy, I will give you these tips. Anything over, first of all, anything over somewhere around 5 or so minutes is just too long. It's absolutely too long to get people to click and stop. It's just a different world these days. You can't make the content that long. And it has to be good quality too. It's not just the content, but technically it has to be good. It's too easy for people to say, "Oh, I can't see what he's saying. I can't see what they're talking about." It's too easy to click and move on. You're competing with so many that it has to also be good quality.
Very true. About the length, that is something I learned the hard way. And so I try to keep my videos as short as possible so that I can get the maximum watch time in it. But when it comes to having the highest quality, now here's the thing. On DTube, not a lot of people have the best equipment. But when we are saying quality, put out the best quality you can, it's an all-round term. It is your content, the way you edit it, the way you present your video, everything should be pleasing to watch. Everything should feel good to watch.
Right. You don't need, I mean, trust me, you don't need to go rent the gear that I rent when we're pulling together the videos I do. Anybody's phone can do it. All of the phones for sale now are perfectly capable of producing good quality content. Stand so that the light is on your subject and make it so that you can hear. If it's windy, you're in the wrong place to be filming. All of those things. Otherwise, people will only watch you once and never come back to your content. Oh, that's the guy who produced that lousy thing. I don't want to see it.
Exactly, and that's what we're focusing on. We want to spread the word about making good content that people watch once and they feel like coming back to watch your second video. That's the thing. Like, look, I have the best example, and she's present here right now, Priyanark. When she started out on YouTube, she's still using the same phone, she's still using the same gear, she's still using the same editing software, but using the same resources, she has improved so much. And I'm really proud to say that, and I can say it very confidently, that she deserves her spot in the top voted rankings of DTube.
Okay, HGN's got a question he'd like to ask.
Sorry, let me. It's almost two questions. The first question is you said about the content quality. The problem about YouTube is you're getting paid from the first video you put on, whether it's a good quality or not. If I want to compare it to platforms such as YouTube, you have to make good content for almost a month, at least, if you are a really good content creator. So what do you think about this? And my other question is about, you said you put lots of emphasis about content quality, but you can't dig a hole in a mountain with a spoon. There are lots of issues with DTU, we all know. And so how is it going to help the creators to put their good quality content there? And the third one, I'm sorry, it's got to be third. What's your opinion about 3Speaks? It's a new platform. Is it better than DTube?
What was the platform name?
3Speak. I think he's talking about 3Speak. Yeah, I'm sure he's talking about 3Speak. Okay, 3Speak, I have no opinions about that. It is a great opportunity for content creators to expand. Unfortunately, I couldn't make the cut. And they have very specific rules about taking people in. But to be honest, I like their website. I like what they're doing, and more power to them. Yes, solo miner is right. It is for banned YouTubers or anybody who has suffered from any sort of censorship. The second question was about you can't dig a hole in a mountain with a spoon, I believe. But the thing is, if you go right now on YouTube, you will come across multiple content creators who have a spoon and they have dug out holes in mountains. There are there are plenty amazing content creators who have inspired me to join DTube because their content is so good. Until date, they are my idols. Like I said, Priyanark is one of them. The first question, I do not remember. I'm sorry. Could you repeat it, please?
Yes, the comparison between YouTube and DTube, and how they paid their authors.
All right. I think it is a very how do I put it? It is very hard to compare both of these platforms. First of all, YouTube is completely centralized. It has a very different algorithm. Their system is very different. Just like Twitch and Vim.tv, the terms of services are different and so on. And on YouTube, it's also very different. So I think it's very tough, and I don't think it is the right comparison to be made. If we are going to go with the technical stuff about the uploading and the playback and all of this, I think yes, YouTube is a platform the developers of YouTube should look up to, but you have to realize that the playback and all of this is because it is decentralized. But with time, I believe and I want to believe that it will get better. It will get better in the future. But it is very, I do not like to compare YouTube and DTube because me personally, if I would be on YouTube, first of all, it is so highly saturated on YouTube that I wouldn't get a shot to continue and make 5 videos in a row. But on DTube, I feel like doing it, no matter if I get the vote or I do not. It's not about the vote anymore. It's about doing what you want to do and doing what you like. If you have grown a passion for it, continue doing it. On YouTube, when you get 1 view on your video, you put in 3 hours to edit and record and so on. It's really demotivating. So I think there are very different factors that you have to keep in mind before making the comparison between YouTube and DTube.
Yeah, it's apples and oranges to compare YouTube and DTube, just the same as it's apples and oranges to compare Steam to most other platforms. First of all, they're young platforms. YouTube is a more mature platform, so you can learn as far as developing your videos, but how the platform works has got to be a little bit different because of the different levels of maturity. It makes a difference. But making
Uh,
videos is like writing. It's a craft. And the more you develop it and the better you get, the more likely people are to engage with what you're doing.
I would like to add to that and say the Steam blockchain itself is very, very young. It's not just DTube. Look at Steam blockchain itself. We have a lot of growing to do. We have a lot more to become. I don't think it is right to compare Steam to Facebook because those are very different things. I don't think it's right to compare Steam with any platform out there.
I could have swore that I mentioned Steam as well as DTube. But that's okay. You missed it. Thank you, Blind Spot.
I have a useful tip to share.
Go for it.
There was a mention a few minutes ago about embedding the DTube videos within a post on Steemit so that you didn't have to leave the Steemit site to watch the video. It would play in the post. There is a trick to that, apparently. There is somebody on the blockchain who has done some experimenting and found the way to make it work. What you have to do is go to DTube and upload your video, make the post, let it go to the blockchain. Then you go to steemit.com, you edit your post, and you have to embed a certain code into the post. Save that edit, and then it will work. And I have just dropped in chat a link to his post on how to do that. Don't upvote the post because it's too old. I think it's 17 days old, but just read it and then try what he says, and it should work.
That's a lot of hoops to jump through.
You're not kidding.
Well, not really. It's just one additional thing. You copy one URL from DTube after after the post is up, edit your Steam post and pop in that URL and it's done. It's not that hard, really. It's no worse than going in and correcting a word you've misspelled or something.
No, it's not hard. It's just more steps than, like, this should be seamless today.
Yeah.
These days. Right now, it should be seamless and easy to do.
Agreed. It should be seamless, yes.
I mean, the issue is that they don't want to have all kinds of code and extra stuff that they have to deal with on their server. They want their servers to be, not caching huge amounts of things.
So, Pri, are you present? I see she's muted. Yep, she's here. Sarge, are you present?
I'm here, y'all.
Fracas, are you present? And Frank is just leaving, so I'm going to. Okay. So, Pri and Sarge, you have the Shade, and Pri, Fracas, and Frank, you have SBI. Pri did well today. All right, Solo, you're up.
I'm going to pimp someone else's post for a change, but it still has to do with me. I was featured on the Meadows and Makers podcast by Making Stuff. That's a MSP radio show. If y'all don't know, there's radio shows on MSP on Discord, just like we have them on the Ramble here. And I talked with them for about 2 hours. We talked all about solar projects I've been working on and mason bees and other types of bees I'm trying to attract with the things I've been building. Talked about my photography and my history in crypto. So if you want to hear a talk between Making Stuff and myself, it's a good check. And I had a lot of fun on the show. The 2 hours that I was on passed by. It felt like 30 minutes. So we really stayed engaged and had a lot of fun on that show.
Yeah, you did well on there. I did catch part of it.
Oh, cool. Great. Thanks for listening in, Shadow Pup.
So you weren't paying attention to your audience, eh?
No, I saw you there. There was like 20 people, so I just appreciate it. I just never know who really has it on in the background or not.
Blind Spot wants to know when's your exclusive show coming on the Ramble.
That's a good question. I've been rolling it around in my head. I've been trying to build a schedule that I would keep on the show. And I think I'm going to give it like a run on Vim, just unannounced, and give it a couple episodes. And if I can hold myself together and stay focused and have a good show, then I'll probably bring it to the Ramble. But until I have something that's proven and I can show myself to be effective in it, I don't want to start a show on the Ramble and really mess that up. So I'm getting there.
Okay, gotcha. All right, thank you, Solo. And Kitty Girl.
Well, I'm going to share a post about something that's free, and then I'm going to get back in the queue and share another thought about something that's free. This is a way that you can earn free tokens, and who doesn't love free tokens? There is a site called Coinbase.com, which is a digital currency exchange, and you can go into Coinbase and sign up for an account and watch a few videos that are short. They're only about 2 minutes each, and you can earn free crypto by doing it. You have a chance of earning some EOS. You can earn a crypto called DAI, D-A-I. You can earn Stellar's XLM tokens and several others. And this post tells you what's available, and it has a link to go in and do it. Now, one thing that Coinbase does is it allows you, if you choose to do so, to set up a link to a bank account where you can actually purchase crypto, or you can cash out crypto back to fiat. If you sign up for that part of the site, it does go with a KYC, know your customer routine, where you have to upload an ID, because it wants to keep the bank accounts of the customers safe. I've heard a lot of people bad mouthing KYC, but I'm glad it exists when my bank account is linked, you know? So I think that it's a good thing in that case. But I think you can go in and earn the tokens, though, themselves without doing the KYC part. So anyway, yeah, free tokens, go get them.
No, I think you might. I'm not sure, Kitty Girl, but I believe you have to have a Coinbase account so that way they can put the coins that you earn into your Coinbase wallet.
Yeah,
I think.
that is absolutely true. You have to sign up an account to get the wallet to collect the tokens. But what I'm saying is, I don't think you then have to go and do the KYC step to use those tokens and send them to another exchange. Um, and I'm not really sure about that because when I signed up for Coinbase, it was a long time ago when I wanted to buy Steam when it was low. And so I just signed up my account and immediately went right on into the KYC part, to link my bank up so I could buy Steam. And then this free token thing came along later. But I think you should be able to earn the tokens without doing the KYC. But yes, you do have to have an account to have a wallet to collect the tokens. That's true.
Yeah, I did that though. I'll back up the Kitty Girl on that because I got me all kind of weird tokens now. I got ox and something else.
All right. Thank you, Kitty Girl. And Pre, you're up.
Me?
Yes, you.
Well, Bluefin just posted the queue, and I'm seeing Amir in there first, and then Priyan.
Are you ready, Amir? Last I saw, he was headed home.
Oh, okay.
I think I moved him enough so that he could be home. I think he might be home now.
Okay, are you ready, Amir? I don't see him responding.
Okay, I can present now.
He's
We
typing.
can do that later.
Are you ready? Or are you still heading home?
Oh, looks like he's trying to do push to talk, and it's not coming up.
Okay, can you hear me?
Gotcha.
Yeah,
You're
there you
good.
go.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay. All right, so what I have is a very light post. It's a lyrical parody of several songs. Here's the link. It's basically like I took a couple of songs, chopped them up, and made them like 3 different verses. And I made a lyrical parody, and it's about vaccination. I basically took some time, Googled what would happen, like the type of things that you would get if you don't get vaccinated, and I tried to turn it into a pop song and, just a lyrical part. If you press on the singer's name, you would get the original song to listen to while reading the lyrics. It's a lot of work, and I don't think it's that rewarding for everyone checking the post.
All right. So you're getting comment about Avril Lavigne. I gather that's the girl in the picture.
Yeah, because the first song is actually, the song as you see is called Vaccinating, and the first verse is taken from her first verse of her song, Complicated. Yeah. So it's basically kind of like that. It goes within the same rhythm of that song, and that's why she's on the cover, because she's the first verse on the song.
Ah, that would do it. All right. Well, and well done, Amir. This is your first PYPT presentation, so you now have your PYPT attendee role and access to the channel.
All right, thanks you. It feels good to have my PYPT virginity.
There you
popped.
go. And I just threw you some shade as well since you presented, like everybody else.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it. I meant to join in earlier, but it's usually the time where I work. like in Iraq. So the difference of timing is really hurt me.
Those four-lettered words. Work. Terrible.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. Well done. So, Pri, now you're up.
Hi everyone, thanks Shadow for hosting the show. And this is one of my posts which I call City of Art, where actually this is summer, so very interesting moment for me because I don't like winter, you know that. And I have captured some street art pictures, and I thought it's the best time to share it all in one post. So I have shared some street art, or which we call also graffiti, and they are really pretty cool. And I saw different kinds of street art, and I really love to see them because there is a story behind every art. All like I feel that I'm from Bangladesh, a very small country, and in that country we don't have these kind of things. We have everything, but we don't have these kind sort of street art or murals or graffitis, anything. So I feel that I should write a post about my collection, what I captured from Kharkiv city, and I really feel like you guys should check it out, and I think you will like it, like the pictures.
Yes, there are some really nice pictures there. I love that one at the top of the child holding the bee. I'm assuming that's a bee.
Yeah, there is a story which I think I know because sunflower is a national flower of Ukraine, and it is economically helpful for this country. And the bee is all about, like, there is a city behind the children, and I think because of modernization, agriculture or land is like decreasing, or sunflower is decreasing, and so this is she is trying to holding and save the bees and sunflower from city life, I think, like that.
Yeah, I think that's probably a worldwide issue where the bees are losing ground, and we need them if we're going to
Yes,
survive. Do not
yes.
pee on this bee. Thank you, Pri. Well done.
Thank you.
And Bluefin, you're up.
I am posting a link to somebody who is traveling to the Alliance's big meetup in Colorado right now. Marianne and Dreamsteam are currently traveling there for the big meetup. And this is the little town where just outside is the B&B that they're all staying in. And Dreamsteam gave us a little look at all of the little museums and little the gold mine and all. It's kind of a cool look-see at where this big Alliance meetup is taking place. So I'll go give it a look and toss a little love that way.
So they're at the town where it's taking place?
Yeah, they got there already. They're I think they arrived just about now. Just
Ah,
about now. They stayed at a B&B about an hour away, and now they're in the town where the B&B that actually is taking place. The meetup is taking place.
we imagine we'll be seeing lots of photos and posts coming from there this weekend, or we better be.
Right. Engine Witty's there. Zippy is there. Ray Brockman. I think Ray's going. I can't remember. I know Dream is there. Marianne is there.
Snook.
There's a good dozen anyway.
Yeah.
Snook is there, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, Echo is there as well. Echo Instant and Echo Instant. Both of them are there.
Oh, both of them went. Very good.
Yeah, yeah.
And there was somebody else as a new person. Something video?
Oh, pretty nice video. Yeah, she won a raffle for the cost of the meetup, and I saw she posted a picture of her traveling to there.
Yeah. Should be an interesting weekend. Thank you, Blue. And Solo, you're up.
I went out on the canoe recently, and my friend Ryu Lincoln caught a fish. We got a carp out on the lakes in Georgia. It was about 5 pounds, and it gave him a run for his money. His fishing pole was undersized for the fish, and it was dragging him and us all over the creek trying to get the fish under control. But after about 5 or 10 minutes, we eventually got it in the boat and got it all home and had some delicious meat. It tastes a lot like shark, which I found strange. I've never had a fish taste like that, but it was a really great catch, and I'm glad I got it locally out in the river that it's been out there for a long time and not getting it from a farm somewhere that I don't live anywhere near. So it was cool getting a fish and eating it and the whole experience.
So I take it you've eaten shark.
My friend ate shark, and that's what he said. It tastes like shark. To me, it didn't taste like any other fish I've had before, so I'm assuming it probably tastes like shark if he said it does.
Seems reasonable. Blind spot. It says usually sharks eat you.
Yeah, well, this fish was pretty big. I was surprised we caught such a big one in the lake. We for the probably hour or two before, we kept catching itsy bitsy fish, and we had to throw them back. They were way undersized, so we're glad we finally got a big 5 pound carp.
Well, gave you something to eat, that's for sure.
Yeah, a few days worth. It was at least 3 or 4 meals worth.
PH wants to know, did you make the fish stew?
Not this time around, but next time I'm going to give that a try and see if it deals with the bones better. But this time I roasted it.
Amir, since you're suggesting that shark tastes like cats, I don't think anybody should prove you wrong. No eating cats to find out what shark tastes like. Thank you, Soul. And Sarge, you're up. It was definitely a trap, but we avoided it.
A lot of folks in here, and thanks for hosting Shadows and Kitty Girl and Bluefin and everybody on in the whole community that is the Ramble here. For all you do, I just wanted to say that up front. But now to the post. This is about Steam Clan. And there are a number of you in here, I recognize the names, that are already involved. But this is a post I made about 5 days ago. I had seen this and had read up on Satoshi's treasure and stuff. And if you're not familiar with it, there is a group that are having this, I guess you could call it like a contest. And this is not Steam specific, it's worldwide. And what they're going to do, they have all these puzzles. I think there's going to be a total of 1,000 of them. They call them keys. And there are groups that have gotten together, Magellan Clan and some others, and they try to figure out these puzzles. So if you like puzzles, if you like trying to figure things out, and you're not involved already in Satoshi's treasure, this would really be something great. Now, I'm going to tell you why. The folks that are heading this up, Blanchy, not just Blanchy, but quite a few people, they've gotten involved in this. Want to get, since Steam is an international community, and we're pretty big. They want to get people all together to kind of help in this effort. Um, and actually, there are rewards involved. I mean, you're not going to get rich, but the whole idea behind it is to bring this $1 million of Bitcoin into the Steam ecosystem. The folks that have headed this up, and they have trusted people. And if you want to know more in depth information, you can look at Blanchie's post. He's over there in Ireland. And you get more information about the whole STEAM effort. But they have actually, and I don't think I included this information in the post, they have actually the abbreviation is SST or STS or something like that. But anyway, what they're going to do, buying back all that STS from folks to get rewarded and stuff, and then putting this $1 million.
I'm not sure. Are you pausing or are you cutting out?
I might be cutting out because I'm holding down.
Yeah, I had that problem yesterday. I seem to have to keep releasing the key periodically. And we've lost you completely now. Or am I disconnected? Yep, I'm disconnected. That's at about 90 minutes in.
Thank you, Bluefin, for checking on that fellow in the chat that didn't have a mic. And it looks like Shadow's Pub is back. Are you with us, Shadow?
Yep, it looks like it.
Okay, well, we were just continuing to talk about Sarge's post and taking a question or two. Looks like Bluefin is up next.
And it looks like you answered query's query. So that is covered as well.
Yes, absolutely. Love the way we get help in here from everyone.
So I met the neighbors recently. I was out for my walk the other morning and ran into one of my neighbors who my daughter saw all the time last summer. And I think I startled her, possibly she startled me, one or the other of us. But she also seemed to be interested in more than just saying hi, licking her chops. I don't know. Seemed to be a little exciting. So go give a love. Say hi to my new neighbor.
That's a wonderful photograph. I love that. How close were you? Were you using a telephoto lens?
Yeah, but I backed it all the way down because so it was effectively a 150 millimeter, because she wasn't that far. She was only a little bit farther away from the, I don't know, 15 feet, 12 feet.
So semi-shy, but not quite.
Yeah, she was just walking along in the woods right next to the path. So oftentimes when my daughter was running, she said she would be right in the middle of the road. The fox would be. Carrying a squirrel or carrying a bunny or a vole or some sort of dinner back to the den for her kids.
I'm surprised you were able to get that close. That's amazing.
Apparently she's been around enough. She's getting used to people.
And seems to have her same path that she seems to walk all the time, and so we're in her way.
Yeah. So do they normally look that almost scruffy at this time of year?
I think they always look scruffy.
I don't know. I've seen some foxes around here and they just look like funny shaped dogs, usually in, fairly decent condition. But it's an excellent shot, that's for sure.
Well, thank you. I gotta go back and find the cue and see and do some editing.
All right. So, blind spot, you're up. And James, to answer your question, I don't think it's the CIA or the cats that is disconnecting me. Oh, blind has got Pri asleep already. It hasn't even started.
Hello. It's okay if Pri is fast asleep, as long as everybody else isn't. Blue doesn't matter either. Well, to be honest, I put myself in the queue because of Blue, because I wanted to share with everybody the well, it refers to my previous post, right, about putting up content so that more people can enjoy and interact with YouTube. And this is one of those posts. Like recently, I started making some tech videos and that sort of thing. It isn't my forte, but I gave it a shot. And this is one of it. Is the future now? Uber Air. I don't know how many people over here have heard about Uber Air, but it's something really cool. It's taxis, flying cabs. Well, within 2020, they should have Melbourne, Dallas, and Los Angeles, if I remember correct. In these three places, they will be trying out flying cabs. which is really interesting. And the whole point about putting up this post is that this might be something that people are interested in. We don't have a lot of such posts on the blockchain, and maybe somebody might come across it and watch a video. So putting up interesting posts, putting up something, what is sleep, and posts that people might be interested in to learn something from, a post that has something to take back from. So yeah, short one. Everybody can go back to sleeping. Bye.
You didn't put people to sleep, did you?
Hell nah. You think people are gonna sleep when I'm talking?
Well, people do have the option of turning the volume down, so yeah, they could.
But they would have to be awake to do that.
True. James says that they have enough danger on the ground, let alone in the freaking air. Yeah, the idea of flying cars is almost a little scary. Some of them could be bad enough on the road. Okay, Blue, you can turn the volume back on. Good thing you had the volume down and didn't hear me telling him that. All right, Solo Miner, you're up.
I traveled out to the Chattahoochee Bend State Park and shared some more photos of the tree canopy. I've been down by the river, but in this case, I walked over to the campsites and there was a very dense forest in the region. So I put on my ultraviolet filter and I started taking pictures as the morning sunlight was coming through the tree canopies. And it gave these really ethereal looking images with the leaves looking partially transparent. And you can see that really deep blue sky in the background brought on from my ultraviolet filter. And these trees are probably really old. They are really massive and probably at least 100 years old. So this location is on the border of Alabama and Georgia, and it wasn't too bad of a trek out there. I had a lot of fun, and hoping to travel to some more state parks with my camera to get some more cool photos.
Very nice. You do have some fun with that camera.
Sure do. I'm lucky to be in a place with so much forest. I wonder what a desert would look like. I've never brought it out to one, but I figured all the plants are great specimens for my camera.
Sounds like a summer road trip.
Yeah, that's my plans. If Steam takes off, I want to travel around and do more photography, not just in my immediate area I live.
Amir just suggested that you should head there because that's all he's got is desert.
He's in Iraq, right?
Yep.
Yeah, I bet there is deserts and mountains.
I feel like a desert is an ocean with its life underground and a perfect disguise above. Oh, you meant desert.
Yeah, he's quoting the lyrics to a song that came out back in the 70s.
Ah.
I had no idea. I was just like, what is he saying? What?
James got it.
Yeah.
Kitty girl got
Horse
it.
with no name. Horse with no name. Yep.
Blind Spot says 70s. What's that?
Kids these days.
Yeah. And some of us older ones. Okay, thank you, Solo. Kitty girl, you're up.
Well, this may seem rather odd. I shared a post a moment ago about free tokens that you can get. And this post is talking about being careful about things that are quote unquote free. I talk in the first of the post about how a local bakery donates their day old bread to a food pantry for the needy, and local fire departments give away free smoke detectors sometimes to households that can't afford them. But most of the time, when something is offered for free, there is a catch. And so many people don't think about that. And I would like to call everyone's attention to the little cartoon in the post. There's two pigs talking, and one says, "Isn't it great? We don't have to pay anything for the barn." And the other pig says, "Yeah, and even the food is free." So that's the way we are as humans. We download all these free games for our computers. Even if we're on Facebook or something, we don't have to download a game, but we can play free games there, Farmville, and then you get Candy Crush Saga and all these other games on the mobile phones, and they're advertising on television these commercials for Candy Crush Saga and Best Fiend, all these other games. And to advertise on TV, it costs hundreds or thousands of dollars per spot. And if you're advertising on big events like the Super Bowl or the Miss America pageant, it can actually go into the millions of dollars per spot. So how can they develop an app and then advertise for it on TV and let you still play it for free? It's because you're not the customer. You're part of the data harvesting that they're doing. And I have had so many people to get their Facebook accounts hacked, they get their phones hacked, and they can't figure out how it's happening. They get telemarketing calls and scams on the phone, and they can't figure out how it's happening. It's because of all this free crap we're downloading. They're harvesting our data, and you're actually putting your own contacts at risk, because if they harvest your data off your cell phone, they've got your grandma's phone number, and they will call her and they try to sell her something. So you're putting other people at risk too, besides yourself. So what you need to do is to not download every free thing that comes your way. Only download from reputable companies and developers. You need to review the permissions requested before proceeding with the download. And if anything doesn't make sense, bail out. If you're, like, say you download a camera app for your phone that filters photos. Okay, it needs to have permission to access your photos to work. But if it also asks for your contacts, that's an overstep in what they need. And that's where you should say, ooh, what's going on here, and not download it. And there's so many people that are just doing this willy-nilly without thinking about it, and then they can't figure out later how they're getting into trouble. So I think we need to be a little bit more alert. And then that also goes to stuff on the computer, not just mobile phones. So, be careful out there, folks. And, please read this post. An upvote would be appreciated, but I want people to read this and absorb the content, understand what's going on. And, that was the big reason I wrote it.
If I could make any one recommendation to everybody, it's to stop doing those contests where you name your favorite concert
Yes.
or band or color, or put your first name from this column and something else from that column, and that's your pirate name. That's how they get your password, because most people use that stuff as your password. So don't do those contests at all, ever.
They're collecting a pile of information from you for when they're doing that.
Yes, thank you for mentioning that, Bluefin. That is definitely very true. Yeah, and also the forward. If they put a picture of something stupid that's happening to somebody, and if you ever had this happen to you, forward this, on to your friends. That's another way they collect information as well.
Yeah, I usually ignore those. I decide what I'm going to share. Nobody asked me to do it. Because if
There
they
you
do, I
go.
get
Well,
suspicious.
we all need to get into that mode of thinking.
Thank you, Kitty Girl.
I
Go
can
ahead.
guarantee you Bill Gates is not going to give you $10,000 if you forward this picture. Period. You're not going to get a free ticket from TWA. You're not. Well, Amir, you might.
Yes, Nigeria, look out. Or any other country for that matter. All right. And Amir, you're back up.
Yeah. Hey, can you hear me this time?
I can hear you.
All right. So this post is also posted by me, and it's like extremely different from the one before. It's actually related to World War II. It's I'm doing a very long series like that. It's going to be a total of 6 to 7 posts about World War II. It started with I call them the prequels, which is like Hitler's rise to power, and the one I'm gonna share is part two, basically, of World War II, which is what led to it. Like it's not the actual war, but the series of events that led to it.
The history before the history.
Yeah, basically, like I tried to keep it light, like so there are a couple of jokes, but they're not, like those extremely dark jokes that, it's like just some silly play on words that there here and there. And I just tried to keep it light and I spent like 3 months like reading about it, so I'm trying to justify doing it.
Fractus says keeping Hitler light. Nice.
Yeah, it's basically like that. Just like doing this, I started with basically the post is called World War III with forgotten quotes, and it's basically like that. Each post starts like this, and like stuff that they um, basically quote unquote forgot that history books forgot to mention, and it's just like stuff like that. Like I mentioned the facts, like it's not completely just me making stuff up. And I actually tried to make it as unbiased as it can be. And, like, I'm not saying that Hitler was a good person at all. It's just like I went on to find the most unbiased sources to tell the story. And, like, Hitler remained to be a dipshit in it, but, it's like, that's how unbiased I could get.
Well, looks like you've done a lot of work in it.
Well, yeah, there is going to be a later on post in which I mention all the sources because I read all of this on the laptop and the laptop broke. So I wrote the entire series of posts on my iPhone and it was just hard like adding the sources and stuff because they were saved on the laptop. So by the time the laptop gets fixed, all the sources will be added like in a separate post. So, like there is going to be like the sources are going to be mentioned. I usually do that with my posts.
Okay. And I did see the note down at the bottom that says that it's going to be your longest post yet when you do the next part.
Yeah, because the next part is actually like the end of this part is the official beginning of World War II. So the next part is going to be like everything. I'm actually thinking of doing it on 2 parts because writing a long post on an iPhone is just pain.
Well, the other aspect of it is only certain people read really long posts. So you might as well do them a little bit shorter.
Well, yeah, I noticed not a lot of people like most people I mentioned it to them. Most people I mentioned it to them, like even friends, they go like, "Yeah, I'll read it," and it's like like looks good. I'm looking forward to see who won the World War through your posts, and they're just making.
So, as difficult as it is to do on an iPhone, Bluefence made a good point here. Some bots do flag accounts without images sourced.
And you really don't want to be an account that gets flagged. It gets very difficult to get yourself off of that.
Yeah, I get that. I'll actually work on that. I'll do the sources post earlier, and when I do the next post, I'll add them to it. This is like the first time I actually do them. If I don't know if any of you have time, but if you go back to previous posts, like I always add sources and like I do them in a very organized way. So, but yeah, it is a very good point. I should like I didn't even think about it. Thanks, Blue.
maybe when you get on your laptop, you can go back and edit this one, and that would save the problem.
Right. It's not. It just be careful. It's just a little warning, so you know. That's all.
No, it's actually a very good point. Like, I haven't really thought about it. And I've seen, like, I should have, because I've seen people who get taken down because they don't add sources and stuff to what they say. So, like, it does make sense.
Yeah, it just depends who comes by the post.
Yeah, the series of posts actually, like, have gotten some really good love. Like, the first post about the World War actually got queried. The other one was caught by OCD, like one of the posts. So, it's like there were people who caught them. It's just like with such big eyes, like it might get caught by people looking to flag it and stuff like that. So it's actually very important. Like, thank you for mentioning it.
All right. Thank you, Amir. And Solo, you are back.
Someone sent me some Dogecoin, and I don't know who. I was looking at my donation balance, and I noticed about a week or two ago, someone sent me 16 Doge. I don't know who. I didn't see anything in the memo about it. I haven't had anyone tell me they sent me any Doge, but someone somehow sent me some crypto, and I'm super thankful. But it's just funny how you don't really expect anything, and then this shows up once in a while. And I'm glad I added a donation part to most of my posts. That way, if anyone's ever interested, they can send me tips, and it paid off. So I got a few cents, but I don't care. I like the Doge, and I'm gonna hodl it. So thank you very much, whoever it was.
So, have there been very many that have sent those donations in response?
No, just one person. Just this is my first donation that I
Ah,
can
okay.
tell that I've gotten.
Yeah, I see a few posts that do that where they put a bunch of addresses in that people can send to. All right, thank you, Solo Miner. And Pre, you are up.
Hello everyone, I am back here. This is my post about Mexican food. I never tasted Mexican food, authentic Mexican food before. And in Kharkiv, there is a new restaurant open which is called uh, Taco Loco, authentic Mexican food restaurant. And I went there and I try to share overall experience through DTube. But not DTube actually, there is also YouTube videos, but it's 9 minutes. But I think you guys will enjoy it overall because it's not only talk, there is something to watch.
Blind Spot's picking on you. You're gonna pay for that, Blind Spot. You realize that, eh? All bet. All right. Thank you, Pre.
Thank you.
I don't believe I've actually had Mexican food either.
You should taste it because it's really good.
That's good to hear. Thank you, Pre. And Query, you're going to do your first presentation. So are you set up for push to talk? Okay.
Yeah, I think Query was going to do through text.
Okay. Go ahead and drop it in
Older
with
iPhone 4.
with the text.
And Amir volunteered to do a little reading. Actually, he did.
Did he?
Yeah.
Okay. Go for it, Amir.
He said he did.
Maybe he had to step away.
I'll be happy to read.
Okay. Thank you, Blue.
So it's it's me taking part in a super beautiful contest. Wednesday Walk with Tattoo J. Tattoo J has some awesome contests, but I love the Wednesday Walk one. This time I walked across a certain quarter of my city, St. Petersburg, Russia, also known as North Venice. This quartile is located just 6 minutes from my office. It's not a historical part of the city. These buildings were created in the early 1950s. The style is named Stalin's Empire, so they are 70 years old now. I focused on the little decay details, how these houses survived, a small excursion into the urban life, and street photography. People say I captured well the spirit of the city, so please, you're welcome to have a look. Go take a quick look-see.
And there are some nice pictures there, and he included cats. Yeah, I would say you've captured a lot of it. And you've also captured your PYPT attendee role for making your first presentation at Pimp Your Post Thursday. Thank you for reading that, Blue. Did you put the cats in just for me, Query? He could say anything now, we wouldn't know the difference. So Query, you have your PYPT attendee role, which means you will be able to type now in that cool blue that the rest of the people have. And there's a room down there that you can put your posts into, and I would encourage you to check out other people's posts and give them some support as well. Thank you. And Sarge, you're up.
Every once in a while, I like to give these folks a plug. This is just kind of, and they do it pretty much daily, an update of what's going on at the Steam Poker League, if y'all are not familiar with it. I was listening to Marky Mark the other day, and he was talking about how Magic Dice and there's another gambling thing. I don't know. They both left Steam. One did it the right way, the other didn't do it the right way. But anyway, these here, the Steam Poker League, they've been around a long, long time. I think, correct me if I'm wrong, Shadow, it's been about 2 years, maybe longer than that.
I'd say longer. I was seeing them not long after I arrived.
Probably longer, but I just want to tell you real quick about these folks here. There are some very prominent Steamians that host games, use their own Steam, their own crypto finances and everything to keep this going. People that support it, developers and everything. I mean, names like Follow BTC News, Guilty Parties. Oh, I'm doing some serious name dropping here. Snoop. She hosts a game every week. Some folks very familiar here in the Ramble. If you like to play games and you don't want to risk your Steam or SBD, because one big difference between SPL and a lot of these other Magic Dice and this and that gambling, you can't buy chips on this game. You can't buy it, you can't trade them, you can't do anything. Now, recently they combined because they also had a Squirm poker site, so it's all one site now. And if you go to play, you can play. If you see token means that's you're playing to get SBD, and then chips has to get Squirm. But you go in, you sign up. Of course, you have to have an introductory post. Like a lot of sites, they don't want scammers in there. They don't want bots or anything else. And you can go and you can play poker and all different kind of poker. You can play Omaha, straight up Texas Hold'em, all kind of different games they have and stuff. And it's a really neat community, and we have a great deal of fun there. They do have a Discord server, and like I said, go on the post. I think there's a link there in their Discord server and stuff. You can go and play, and you sign up, and just give them your. It's not hard to sign up or anything. Uh, like I said, you're not risking your SBD. You're not risking your Steam because you can't buy chips. You can't buy anything. So all you can do is win. And if you lose, you still won because you didn't risk nothing. So I just because especially Guilty Party. Everybody knows that's my favorite witness. He's very involved in that, and it's just a good time. It's all on the up and up. It's legal internationally. That's already been looked at and taken care of. So, you know, uh, check them out. You can get with Beth. Everybody blames Beth for everything. You can get with her on the Discord server and learn a lot more about, it's legal everywhere, Soul Miner. It's legal everywhere. That's all looked at and everything. So, it's just a lot of fun. You get to meet people from all over, and there's a number of people in this community. They drop in there from time to time.
All right. Thank you, Serge. And Solo Miner, you're up. And Solo is currently last on the list, so if anyone else has got a post to share, they need to drop the icon.
I've been building more bee boards. This time around, I've gone with smaller holes, just so when the bees come around, they have some options to choose from. Now, I really have no idea what they're going to prefer, but I figured if I can build a couple different sizes, I can observe, and then build better ones in the next season. So these are all the bee homes I got built so far. And these amount right here would double or maybe even triple my capacity from when I had the bamboo hung up and the bees going in the little bamboo reeds. And these are also serviceable, so I can then clean them out and harvest the eggs and such. So it's one of those things where I don't know what I'm doing exactly. I'm going to kind of have to watch, observe, modify, and try again until I find the sweet spot for those bees.
But at least you're trying. That's what matters.
Yeah, sure am. It's been a unique experience. I didn't know about these bees just till a couple years ago, so it's all new to me.
Nice. And everything we can do to help support and protect them, all the better.
Yeah, my blueberries came up real good this year. I think they pollinated every single flower.
Oh, that's good. All right. Thank you, Solo Miner. HGN, are you trying to enter the queue? You drop an icon to do that. And Kitty Girl, you're up. Ah, trying to see the queue. That was something that Bluefin was doing, was he was dropping the list in.
I mentioned this a couple of days ago at the beginning of the Curation Corner show, but James Russell brought this post to my attention. I had not seen it yet. We lost a member of the Steam community the other day, Wolfheart, who's been battling cancer for quite some time, lost the battle, and has moved on. And we were very, very saddened to hear about that. He was in a lot of communities on the blockchain, such as PIFC, Pay It Forward community, He was also in Steam Terminal, and I don't know how many other communities, but he was a good fella. He was a veteran. He was a Steamian who had just earned his dolphin status. Um, he was always one to include positive energy in his posts, even when he was taken to the ER and was down and not feeling well. He would still get on Steam and make a post that was oftentimes of a positive nature, which was really amazing. He definitely supported the veteran community and other people on the blockchain as well. And he touched quite a few lives. I think he touched even more lives than I was aware from everything that I'm hearing about him. And yeah, the Steam board created a special badge for him with a wolf on it, which I thought was an absolutely wonderful tribute to him. And I would urge everyone who knew Wolfheart to get on this post and leave a tribute to him in the comments. I think it would be greatly appreciated by his family. I'm not sure if his widow is on the blockchain or not, but he does have a son and maybe a son-in-law who checks the post on the blockchain. So definitely leave a kind word for the family and let them know how Wolfheart touched your life as well. So thank you.
And that was really good of the Steam It board group to make that icon for him.
It really was, and we have lost a few people on the blockchain in the past, and I'm not sure if they received badges too, or maybe if this was a new idea Steam It board had. But I think it's absolutely wonderful, and I do hope they will continue to do this in the future. And James Russell, thank you too for linking me to this post because I had not seen it before. And in this post, the Steam It board also links us to Wolfheart's last post, which I had seen, and it's definitely worth a read. So
I think maybe part of the reason that they did it for him was that he'd given them so much support and feedback over the time he was on.
oh yes, and I see James says in chat that Britt came up with that idea. Okay, cool. Thank you for letting us know, James.
Yeah.
And thank you for linking me to this post so we could share it here.
He sent her a letter.
Yeah, he actually sent. Britt was fairly close to him. Apparently, I think they met in Pay It Forward community, and they DM'd a lot. And Wolfheart actually wrote her a handwritten letter and mailed it to Britt in the Netherlands, and she was very touched by that. And yeah, his loss definitely hit her very hard, as well as James and quite a number of other people who knew Wolfheart.
Yeah, very real friendships develop on here. Some people, they keep referring to the real world in here, but some of the relationships are very real.
Yes, that's true because quite a number of us are the same people online as we are offline. And I think people like that are genuine, we do attract friendships and can make friendships with other people.
All right. Thank you, Kitty Girl. Does anybody else have anything that they, yes, Global Cop was devastated, that they would like to share? I see James is typing away there. Ah, okay. So it looks like we will wrap up for today, this show. And don't forget, we're back again this evening at 7 p.m. You've been listening to Shadow's Pub host, Pimp Your Post Thursday, Eat Morning Edition. And until next time, it's all about community. And yep, bye, Wilma.